Hello and welcome, and today we are bringing you 20 mistakes that are commonly made by people when cruising with Marella. Some of these mistakes that we are going to tell you about could not only save you a lot of money, but they could also save you time and stress. So let's get straight down to it, Dave. What's the first common mistake that people make?
Well, the first one people make is assuming that absolutely everything is free on board a Marella. Because Marella brand themselves as all-inclusive, it isn't quite true. So we'll let you know that the drinks are always free on board and the food is free on board, but there are extras, things such as the spa, excursions, you've got experiences like the afternoon teas and stuff.
And did you mention Wi-Fi there?
Oh, especially Wi-Fi, because I know it's expensive on board. So yeah, not everything on board a Marella cruise ship is actually all-inclusive.
Yeah, so do your homework and make sure you know what's included and what isn't. So moving on to number 2, and that is not researching your cabin properly. When you are first booking your cruise, you are asked whether you want to select a cabin or whether you want to pay a little bit extra, and we believe it's about 60 to 80 pounds to actually choose your cabin there and then.
It's always a good thing to check before you go, because there are things on board such as toilets, lifts, the back of the ship over the engine room, and obviously above the M1 as they call it. But also there are Facebook groups, aren't there, where you can go and check to see if your room has actually had a tour around it with the number, so you know exactly what to expect.
It's always good to have cabins above you, cabins below you, and cabins either side of you. You don't want to end up below the nightclub or the theatre either. So Dave, what's number 3?
One of my pet peeves, people that head straight for the buffet on embarkation day. It is not the best time to go. On embarkation day, people come on board, they've probably been waiting in the port for quite a while, they're hungry. The buffet isn't the only option on board a Marella ship.
Yeah, on our latest cruise, we decided that we'd go to the Glass House. The Glass House serve lunch. They do wonderful chicken, chips, hot dogs, and lots of other food. And of course, they have the very famous and well-known carrot cake, which is the best at sea. So yes, look at the other options. They are going to be quieter because avoid the stampede to the buffet.
Okay, so we'll quickly jump in and ask you all that if you are enjoying this content and you haven't subscribed already, please remember to like and subscribe. And if you want to hear from future content from Mike and I, please click on the little bell below for future notifications.
It really is important to us. It helps push our content out so that more people get to watch it.
So on board a Marella cruise, we all know that it is all-inclusive. This includes all-inclusive drinks. However, there is a premium package. Now, question number 4, Mike. Should you be upgrading your package to premium before you board?
Well, it's certainly wise if you want the premium package, but to do it before you go on board, because it is usually £10 cheaper if you do it pre-cruise. But why should people consider upgrading to premium, Dave?
Well, if you are into specific brands and you like a little bit of a more posh cocktail, the premium offers this for you. So you'll get everything you need on an all-inclusive package. However, if you do like specific brands that aren't on the all-inclusive, the premium is for you. And they also do specific signature cocktails only for premium. But not all is lost, because if you didn't want to go premium, just remember you can always pay as you go on addition on the premium. So if you've got all inclusive and you wanted to drink on the premium, you can buy it, it'll go on your tab to pay for it at the end of the cruise.
And of course, not to forget that coffees, premium coffees, are included on the premium. They're not on the all-inclusive. So that brings us on to mistake number 5. And that is, of course, people going on and not in the early hours of going around and exploring the ship. Because it is surprising what you can miss and not realise is there until your cruise is nearly over. And we made that mistake, didn't we, Dave?
We certainly did, yes. Obviously, we didn't even know about the Glass House lunchtime on the first time we cruised, and we found it right at the end of the holiday, and it was one of the best places to eat. But there's other things you need to know about. Navigating your way around a cruise can be very, very difficult. Now, Marella does make it easy for you, because you will notice on every floor you'll have information boards with maps of the ship, and also by the lifts you'll have a model of the ship telling you where you are and where everything else is on that ship.
Get round, know what's on the ship.
Okay, so mistake number 6 is a mistake that we've made quite a few times ourselves, and that is not booking specialty dining way in advance of your cruise. Now, the reason why we say this is because specialty dining books out very fast. They have limited spaces, especially for the afternoon tea. Make sure you get in there early.
Yeah, because if you don't, then you may not get the date you want. You may not get the time that you want to eat. If you're like us, we like to eat at 6:30. You might not have a booking till 8:30 if there's still a booking left at all. And of course, don't forget, one of the things that sells out quicker than anything is the exchange on Voyager, and of course, the Great British Musical afternoon tea. Book those early so you're not left disappointed.
But just remember one thing before you go, this is a speciality, therefore it does have an additional charge. It is not part of the all-inclusive.
On to number 7, and this is a big one because people make the mistake of booking Marella excursions, which can be pricey, without doing proper research. Sometimes the port you are visiting offers you everything that you might want, including a beach, including historic sites. So don't automatically think that you need to book an excursion.
Yeah, so if you do find yourself into a port where the town or city is on your doorstep, right there, use apps such as City Walk, where you can just type in your area and it'll give you an itinerary of things to do in that town. Or failing that, don't go with a Marella excursion. Find a credible company. Now, let's remember, in ports, this tends to be their bread and butter. So they are credible companies out there. They will do excursions for a lot cheaper than Marella offer. Look for reviews. Look at sites such as TripAdvisor too. Which leads us straight into number 8. Do not leave your excursion too late and end up running for that boat, because if you get left behind, they will not wait for you. They will go if you've missed your embarkation slot. So Mike, you must have seen this before.
Oh, go to YouTube, search for cruise runners. They're hilarious. You shouldn't laugh, but it is quite funny. So what we always say is, we always do our excursion in the morning when we get to the port. We always careful to know how long the excursion is and give ourselves at least 2 or 3 hours before the departure time of the ship, so that we've got plenty of time to get back if something should go wrong.
Yeah, and of course, if you are using the rail system like we've just experienced on our last cruise, please be mindful the rail do have strikes. So make sure that you aren't far enough away that you can get back to the ship if you need to by taxi.
Okay, on to number 9. We say take with you a thermal water flask. Water is no longer free, bottled water on a Marella cruise.
Yes, so at night time, Mike and I always fill up. At the ends of the corridors, you will find a water machine. It usually has ice cold water. I think once we didn't, but we'll fill that up with water to see us through the night. You can use it any time of day, but yes, you do get free water on board from the water machines at the ends of the corridors or by the lifts. Now, on to mistake number 10. Most of you, when you board a Marella cruise, you like to plan your day on board. Do not ignore the cruise news that comes the night before or the Navigate app, because these will tell you what's going on.
You know, I love the cruise news. I prefer that to the Navigate app, so I hope they don't ever get rid of it. But it's delivered to your cabin the night before, and I scour all the way through it, looking at what's on the following day. And yes, it is so easy to miss things and then be kicking yourself the next day when you think, I didn't know that was on. No excuse. Have a look at the cruise news, Navigate, you won't miss things that are important. Moving on, number 11, and that is, have you got a tender port on your cruise? A tender port is when they can't get close into port, that they have to anchor in the sea and you get a tender boat into shore. And there's big mistakes that can be made on a tender port day.
Well, we've fallen foul to this already on our last cruise, and that was we were too late to the party. We went down to book a slot a bit late and we didn't get off the ship till 2. So the reason why I say this is you cannot just get up and go to a tender and leave the ship. You usually have to do a queuing system and get given a numbered slot, and they will call your number out when your tender time is ready. Unfortunately, if you've got a private excursion, they will always take Marella ones off first, and you might fall foul of that too. So just be mindful, there tends to be a queuing system when it comes to tenders. Okay, so on to mistake number 12, and this is a mistake a lot of you make if you're first time cruisers, and that is thinking a sea day is all about the pool.
Yeah, the pool isn't for everybody. We're not pool deck people, are we? It can be very busy, very noisy, but of course there are plenty of other places that you could find yourself a sunbed in a much quieter location. Walk around the ship and you will find those locations, and of course a member of staff would always help you get a sunbed to the place that you find if you ask.
Can I also quickly chuck in there about the cruise news that we mentioned before? You've also got the spa on board. Mike and I tend to do the spa on a sea day. We always look for deals and offers that they will have in the cruise news the day before. And also we've got other things on board such as gyms and quiet areas to read books.
Yeah, and we did the great British musical afternoon tea on a sea day. There are craft things going on. There's plenty of other things going on around the ship, or maybe find a nice quiet area. We know that the Squid and Anchor is lovely during the day. If you want to read, do a puzzle, take it down the Squid and Anchor. We're at number 13 already, Dave, and this one's quite a good one. What about if your luggage, your hold luggage, gets lost or it gets delayed? There are certain things that you should think about putting in your hand luggage.
So first of all, what we did on our last cruise was we knew that we had an early embarkation and we knew that our room wouldn't be ready and our luggage wouldn't be there. So we packed, in our case, a spare change of clothes. We also packed bathers because we were allowed to take our towels from our room so we could go by the pool and enjoy that. And also Mike and I have medication. Always ensure that you keep your medication on your hand luggage so it's with you at all times.
Yeah, there are certain things that you need to think, what happens if my case is late arriving? What am I going to miss and what am I going to need? So don't make the mistake of not putting some of it in your hand luggage.
Okay, so mistake number 14. When on board, seeing something that doesn't really appeal to you, such as entertainment, you think, oh, that's not for me, not trying it. Well, I always say try it because we've done things before and seen things before that we absolutely fell in love with.
Yeah, we absolutely love Marella. Their theatre shows, they're such good fun. You can't help but sing along and they're so entertaining. And also look out for that entertainment, things like the band jam, which are just a unique event, the staff farewells.
Well, do you remember also on Voyager, we did the murder mystery, which was absolutely so funny. And again, once we thought, well, it's not really for us, but it was probably one of the best things we did.
Yeah. Get involved, join in, and you might enjoy it more than you think you would. Number 15. People burn themselves out cruising. They try and do everything. They're off the ship at every opportunity. They're dashing there, everywhere. They're trying to do this, that. They burn themselves out, Dave.
They definitely do. What Mike and I tend to do is if we see a city that we want to do a city break to in the future, we tend to have a boat day. So everybody goes off the ship and does their thing and we get the ship almost to ourselves. A lot of time to have a quieter experience by the pool or do other things on board that you wouldn't tend to do when it was busy on a sea day.
And of course, take advantage of that all-inclusive. Have your drinks, have your food. Try food at all the places you haven't eaten yet. So yes, take a rest. You might need it.
So, mistake 16 is not keeping your eyes on special deals and bargains on the cruise ship. Now, Michael and I have this down to a T. We know that towards the end of the cruise, the shops tend to get really good deals. They do giveaways such as free bracelets and raffles. But all the way through your cruise, if you look in the cruise news, you will see bargains advertised in there.
Yeah, and also the other main place that you can get a bargain is in the spa. So go to the spa and they will have specials advertised daily for you to see. But also keep an eye out on your cruise news because they put the specials in there. And they also have a raffle, Dave. Often they will have a raffle. Just go and put your entry in their box and you can win a certain amount of treatments.
We've never won though.
No, we've never won, but I got a bargain, I think, last time. Was it 49 or 69 I paid and I got 5 treatments and I got my beloved facial. Now, number 17. This is a big P for me because it really annoys me when I hear people moaning about something that's gone wrong or something not right in their cabin. and they don't say anything apart from moan when they get home.
And there's been plenty of times when we've had problems on board, but we always speak to our cabin steward. And guess what? Overnight, it's fixed. Now, we've had a problem with our air conditioner before. It was fixed. We've had problems with our USB slots. They were broken. And overnight, they were fixed. So
and of course,
listen.
Don't forget the beds.
Oh, yes.
You know, we've asked for beds to be separate, and we get there and they're together. But speak to a steward and they'll separate them within a short amount of time. So don't sit on a complaint and moan when you've not prepared to go and give either the cabin steward or ring reception, and they will sort the problem out for you.
So, mistake number 18, and this is a biggie, guys, okay? This is about always having your cruise card on you at all times. Now, the reason why we say this is because your cruise card is your room entry. It is your entry on and off the ship. It acts as almost like a passport, and it also gets you your drinks on board. Now, what we did before is we had lanyards and we wear them around our necks, so it's with us at all times.
Yeah, make sure that you don't lose it, and particularly when you go off the ship. Remember our friend lost his once? And it can cause you an absolute nightmare if you lose it. Keep it safe, keep it with you all times, because you are going to need it numerous times throughout the day. Now, number 19, this is a biggie and can save you a lot of money or a lot of stress, because one of the things you should do is keep checking your account and see what charges are going on your account. Particularly do this at least 48 hours before you leave the ship, because that will give you time to go to reception and sort it out.
Yeah, because there's many things that can go wrong on your bill. For example, we booked ourselves a specialty meal once on the cruise planner before we boarded the ship.
Yep.
And then they double charged us again after we ate that meal because they thought we booked it on the ship. So we were double charged, and we wouldn't have noticed unless we checked our bill and we were able to get refunded there and then. But it would have been a hassle if we hadn't have sorted it.
Yeah, and the other thing is, of course, is you can easily order a premium drink by mistake. We always make sure when we order a drink, is it all inclusive? Because you will often find that there are drinks on there that are premium that have been added to your account. So go and check, sort it out, because it's a lot of hassle if you don't sort it out and you get home and then you've got to start sorting it out in other ways.
And for the final mistake number 20, the biggest of them all. Do not let any problems that happen on the ship ruin your cruise. We've had many things go wrong on a cruise, not just Marella, any cruise line, but we get them sorted and we do not dwell on them, because it will cause you an issue if you do.
Yeah, I mean, it's little things. They seem big at the time, but at the end of the cruise, when you realise how much fun you've had, if you've let those little things go, become irrelevant. They're not important. The important are the memories and the good times that you make. So yes, don't let little things spoil your cruise.
Okay, so we'll quickly jump in and ask you all that if you are enjoying this content and you haven't subscribed already, please remember to like and subscribe. And if you want to hear from future content from Mike and I, please click on the little bell below for future notifications.
It really is important to us. It helps push our content out so that more people get to watch it.
Okay, so these are 20 common mistakes that people make on cruise ships. I know that Mike and I have made many of these ourselves.
And I'm sure you've made many mistakes. And apart from these 20, there must be numerous more that you can tell us about. So if you have made a mistake, or if you've got a good mistake that you think people should know about so they don't make it, then place it in the comments down below. We'd love to see what you say about it.
Okay, thank you for watching this video today. We hope you've enjoyed it. We'd like to say thank you to our channel members, and thank you to all of you who have watched this video we've presented today.
Yeah, we hope we see you all again. We've got lots more to come, cruising with Marella. So see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.